Margaret Hale kept her ledger wrapped in oilcloth, tucked beneath the loose floorboard beside her bed. It was the first thing she touched each morning, and the last thing she checked before sleep. The book was thick, its leather cracked from age and weather, its pages filled in a careful slanted hand. Names filled it, hundreds of them. Some had dates, some had places. Some had only a single line, written because no one else would remember them. She had been a widow for 11 years. The town of Dry Creek barely remembered her husband now. Thomas Hale had died building the north spur of the rail line, crushed beneath a shifting beam. The company paid her nothing but a folded letter and a handshake, heavy with regret. Margaret buried him herself, marked the grave with a wooden cross, and wrote his name into the ledger that very night. That was when the habit began. At first, it was only the men who died alone, drifters, laborers, ranch hands whose families lived too far away to ever hear the truth. Margaret wrote them down so they wouldn't vanish entirely. She believed that as long as a name was written, a soul was not lost. Dry Creek tolerated her. Some called her kind. Others whispered that she was strange. A few swore she was cursed, that death followed her pencil wherever it went. Margaret paid no mind. She lived in a narrow house at the edge of town, took in mending, and attended every burial, whether she was invited or not. The morning Gideon Cross rode into town, Margaret was standing at the edge of Boot Hill, brushing dirt from her gloves. She noticed him, immediately, not because he was handsome, though he was, in a rough road-worn way, but because he looked like a man, listening for something behind him. His horse was lathered despite the cool air, and his eyes never stayed still. When he dismounted near the saloon, Margaret felt a strange tightening in her chest, as if the ground beneath her had shifted. She went home and opened the ledger. The page was already there. Gideon Cross. No date, no place, only a single word beneath the name, written in her own hand, though she did not remember writing it. Running, Margaret closed the book so fast, her fingers stung. She had never written a living man's name before. For the rest of the day, she tried to convince herself it meant nothing. Yet every task slipped from her grasp. Her needle pricked her thumb twice. She burned the bread. When evening came, she found herself standing across the street from the saloon, watching Gideon cross through the open doors. If you want to hear the full story, click the title below.